There's the green light. I look like a maniac tonight. So it is what it is. We're going to be playing our Thursday night get together. We are going to be playing Beatles music tonight. Instrumental guitar number 249. Let me go post our link on the website. Website is denverguitarorchestra.com. And we meet here every Thursday night to play fingerstyle Beatles music. And link denverguitarorchestra.com. Did I tell you that? And then during the daytimes we play books out of books 1, 2, 3, and we're also doing some classical guitar work during the day. So we're just doing guitar a little bit every day, hoping to keep us getting better. First person in the room will let me know how I sound. I decided to that's funny. Alright, so the cover sheet today is probably not as funny as I thought it was. Let me put us on Twitter, https not Jolly Roger, denverguitarorchestra.com, and I'll link it. Let's link it to our logo on Twitter. Guitar, Denver Guitar Orchestra logo. Hit tweet. Tweet, and it doesn't. That doesn't say at all what we're playing. So whatever. Nobody's joining us from Twitter anyway. All right. So there's that. Elizabeth is in already. Sound is good. She is here. She's ready to rock. It's exciting. I have not looked at our sheet music tonight, so I probably ought to do that real quick here. Getting a little on the hefty side with all this COVID lockdown. Let's see. That's ukulele. We don't need that. Let me go storage, downloads, and guitar. And let's see. Tonight we're playing. Well, for sure we're going to play through All My Loving, which I have downloaded. I want to also play through I Want to Hold Your Hand, which I also have. And for sure Obladi Oblada. And then we also have to play through Super Secret Song number 3 and get that wrapped up, because I'm ready for Super Secret Song number 4. And well, we'll see what's going. We will see who shows up tonight. We'll start here in about 5 minutes, Elizabeth, so you can hang loose. You sent me a text. Let's see what the text says. Let's see here. I haven't had a chance to look at my phone today. So, oh, you did. On Saturday. Yeah, I think the 3/4 guitar is probably not for you. Probably. I think you borrowed one at one point, didn't you? And I brought a 3/4 home here the other day. But had it down here for about a week, just to try to work on making some decisions. You know, my pinky is too short for these full-size guitars, and I thought, I wonder if I should downsize to a 7/8 or a 3/4. And the 3/4 was not. That's not going to be possible. It's just the fretboard is way too tight for me. Let's see. Waiting to see on the new exercise how back. Let's see what's going on Saturday. Saturday morning, Elizabeth. We actually are. We have an appointment. Sunday works if you're going to be around on Sunday. We could do it on a Sunday if you want to do that. Yeah, you played it at Brent. I thought maybe you had had it. You're welcome to borrow it if you want, Elizabeth. I mean, they're just sitting there. Might as well get played. But you're welcome to borrow a three quarters if you want. Um, I decided it's too small for my hands, and so I would definitely be looking at the 7/8. I think you ended up with the 7/8 Cordoba, and that's probably the one I'd be looking at. Um, the Cordoba I have here is fine. It's obviously not the instrument that this one is, but it's okay. So check your calendar for Sunday. Sunday I'm showing it blank, and we can maybe get together there. Um, Sound is good. Rain is on the way. All right, up in Eugene, Oregon. We've been having a rainy afternoon here in Denver, and it's kind of nice, actually. We don't get a ton of rain here, so it's kind of fun. Um, Evelyn says, looking forward to tonight. I am too. I am too. I always get a little nervous because this music is obviously a little harder to play and a little bit, well, people know what it's supposed to sound like. And so it always makes me a tiny bit nervous when I'm getting ready for Thursday night class. But what are we going to do, right? We're gonna do the best we can, and we'll play it that way. You guys might as well. What we're going to do, we're just going to go down the list, and then about 10 minutes before the end of the hour, we're going to pull out that super secret song, and we're going to play. So I do want you guys to grab out All My Loving. We'll start right on time, and those guys who are wandering in late, they'll miss out. How about that? Yeah. Wonder if my pinky's going to cooperate tonight. Every time I sit down and play, I'm like, I wonder if today's the day that the pinky is going to work. Oh, that's a nice tune. Well, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, those Beatles, they were all right. They knew kind of what they were doing when it came to songwriting. Let's see. That's right. We play this one in harmonica class quite often. I like it. Let's see. Elizabeth, Sunday my husband may be taking my car hiking if this is still being worked on. Yeah, let me know. Let me know tomorrow, Elizabeth. We could do Saturday afternoon, I think. I'm not entirely sure how long this our Saturday morning thing is going to take. Saturday afternoon might work. Otherwise, we'd be looking at Sunday. So check your calendar out and see what you're doing with that. All right, let's get tuned up. Make sure we're all in the same tune. And I already have a thingamabopper on here. All right, so I'm going to tune off of this E. Okay, that sounds pretty E-ish. There's my A. Okay, how about D? G is going to sound. Let's go with that G. B. Might be a hint high, but not enough to mess with. And then E. Double check by doing the relative tuning. Here and here. I think that'll do. All right, that's pretty close. Close enough. All right, we're on YouTube. What are we gonna do? Let's see. Aaron, welcome in. Found you. Might want to post a link on DGO. I did. Didn't I? It's there. You have to hit refresh. Aaron, you don't get to come every day. Everybody else used to just hitting refresh. Where the heck is he? Refresh. It's on there right now, Aaron. Vic, let's see. And JEL made it in. Good to see you, bud. Oh, you're welcome. I'm not a huge Beatles fan because I didn't grow up with them, but I do appreciate their songwriting. I mean, I do think it's fascinating. They have a very old school mentality when it came to writing music, which is let's have really great melodies, really interesting chords, and then we'll slap some words on at the end. And so sometimes the words make sense and sometimes they don't. All right, we're starting with All My Loving. Remember, on this piece you play down through 16, come back up to the top. Then you're going to play down through 14. You skip 15 and 16, go on to page 2. You play down through from 17 down through 26. Once you get to 26, then it's going to send you all the way back up to the top. Okay, so you're going to go back up to the top of the page, play down, and then the second time, you're going to play down through 14, again skipping 15, 16, play 17 through 24, and then 27 to the end. Okay, so we're going to play the top part 3 times, the middle part twice, and the bottom part once. I believe that's right, and I think my 1 through 16, 1 through 14, 17 through 26, 1 through 24. This should really say 1 through 14, then 17 to 24, and then 27 to the end. So the repeat block up there needs a tiny bit of love, but you will get the basic idea. Arlo, how you doing, bud? All right, All My Loving from the top, not too fast. We'll always play them slow here, so I don't even know why I say that. 1, 2. Whoops. Big old C chord with your pinky. F chord. D7. Gonna go back up to the top. Second page. Gets me every time. And then jump over to 17, go. Jump all the way to whatever that after 27. Big G chord to wrap it up. Okay, so might have been playing that a tiny bit on the fast side, and I think that's why I'm messing up quite a bit. That and the fact that I'm doing a little bit of sight reading. I don't know if any of you can relate. So we'll slow that down just a little bit. We'll play it one more time. I also played the entire thing with my thumb, so I know that it works. The one place where I'm probably gonna, I put in a second D, measure 2, that second D7 chord there on beat 3. I'm gonna probably just take it out. I thought it would be, a lot of times when you're arranging music, you of course are getting into the micro details, and I thought it'd sound real pretty to have a little bit of a chord there on beat 3, but it's not helping the song out at all, and it's really making it a little bit more challenging to play. So I'm probably going to drop that 0, 2, 1 on the third beat. You can decide if you like it, leave it in, but I don't, especially with pop music and this type of stuff, I don't spend a whole lot of time worrying about every single note. If I don't like the way something plays, I just change it. And so that's probably not the right approach in long term, but yeah, it is the right approach. Okay, let your artistic soul drive you to whatever you need to do. And obviously, if Tough Axe is a little bit more than you want to deal with right off the bat tonight, you play the melody, you play the chords. The chords are beautiful on this, and so find your best way of playing it. All right, let's try it one more time from the top. 1, 2. To the top. Page 2. thoughts? How'd you play? Are you feeling good? You ready to get this business working out tonight? Pretty consistently throughout the piece on the E minors, if there was a big long gap in there, I put in a 2 as just a bass note to drop in there, and then as I'm playing through it, I feel like I like 0 on the 6th string rather than a 2 on the 5th string, so I'm going through and making some changes there. And again, what's written there plays just fine, but I feel like it sounds a little cooler if I hit an E string instead of the B note that I wrote on there. And so, doesn't that play nice? That's a pretty decent little tune. Big Station's doing pretty good, right? That's how. That's what we want to start off with, right? We want to start off with like, yeah, it wasn't perfect, but it was close. God, I had the right idea. So good. That makes me happy, Vic. Okay, so remember. That's one way to play it, the way I played it. Obviously, we want to play it better than I played it, but this is a song that really it's never going to be a terrible song, so you might as well work on it a bit. Singers, close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Remember, I'll always be true. And then while I'm away, I'll ride home every day, and I'll send all my loving, second page, to you. All my loving I will send to you. All my loving, darling, I'll be true. Second ending. All my loving I will send to you. Okay, so obviously I can't sing, but it works, right? The chords work. And those of you guys who like to sing, those of you guys who hate to sing, you should probably play through the chords on a regular basis so that you can get better at switching those. If you ever end up walking out of your house with your guitar, the assumption by everybody that you run into is that you're going to be able to strum and sing things. And so if you sing like I do, they won't ask you to do a second song, but that there isn't a kind of a general assumption that guitar players know their chords. And so on this one, of course, the only moment where it's really in doubt is when you get that F chord on right in the middle. Some of you guys are perfectly fine with that. Arlo's here, he's like, yeah, whatever, no big deal. But for the rest of us mere mortals, when you see an F chord, it's a little bit of panic sets in. Just get it on the best you can. And some days it sounds like that, and some days it sounds like that. And the only way to get it to go from this to this is to practice, and it's just to probably play it at that speed, so there's that. Melody, of course, is always an option for you when you're playing with me, and if I'm playing tough acts and you're like, I don't think that sounds like any fun tonight, you play the melody, and you attempt to keep the same pacing as I do. Obviously I don't have a metronome sitting here. I'm not playing to a metronome. I almost never play to a metronome because I find it very unpleasant, and I don't think the results outweigh the pain. So, but that's when you get with a duet partner, and Christy and I, when we sit down, we play together, and we both agree our timing is not that great, but hopefully next week it'll be better. Or sometimes we just killed it, right? And that's what being here hopefully is helping you with is, hey, I just got to play with Gary no matter what speed he's going. And I'll do the best I can. All right, let's go on to our next one. I Want to Hold Your Hand. And of course, you guys know that grew up with the Beatles. You have their soundtrack in your noggin, and you want it to be the same key and the same speed and everything exactly the same. But that's not how it's going to go down. And so, when you're working on songs, what I've been doing, which I will probably do till the day I die, is I find the best key for the guitar in fingerstyle position, so generally in open chords, and then I build the song around that. Now, I never even care what the original key is, because when I get it all put in there, I'm going to put it into the key that works best for me on the guitar, and if it works well for me on guitar, then I need to make sure that I've taught enough information to you that it can that when what am I trying to say? If I can play it, I want you to be able to play it. That's the sort of business, because I am definitely not a great guitarist, but I'm acceptable, and I want you to be beyond a little bit better than acceptable as a player. And the way you get there is by playing these songs that don't really matter in the key that's the most important or the easiest key for you. When you get ready to play, your ultimate stage show, you may go through and put these songs into the original keys and play them at the original tempo, but I would not put that on as I would not make that a goal of yourself. Christy says it's pretty easy to play a duet until the buffering happens. and oh gosh, you guys, I gotta tell you, I have perfect buffering here all of the time because it's going out of my face into that microphone and out into the world. And so you're right, I don't know the buffering. You're like, well, there's no sound coming out. So you play along, and yeah, I think you guys are having to do a lot harder job than you think. Probably. That's a good point, Christy. All right, I want to hold your hand. The reason I bring up that whole little speech is this is a fast song the way the Beatles play it. That's not how we're going to play it. We're going to take our time. We're going to get through there. There's one place where we do have to stop and talk about it because measure 10 is going to make you sad if we don't spend a little bit of time on it. So just use a capo. Bill knows I got two hot buttons, right? A pick and a capo. Those are my two hot buttons. Arlo, well, I can tell you what Arlo did. I don't know if you guys know this. We were in ukulele class, and Arlo said the word pick. We typed it right in the chat bar. Like a crazy person. All right, here we go. Not fast, okay? Not Beatles speed. 1, 2, 3. This is the one spot we got to talk about very briefly. This is a little decorative thing that they do in the song. I left it in this piece despite my better judgment because you're going to spend a lot of time trying to get measure 10 right. So grab your G chord. So if you're playing the melody, I want to hold your... That's what you're after. Dun da dum da dum dum dum. When you're doing it on the tough acts, it may or may not be worth it to put in that second chord. Would probably be just fine, or play if you can get the second chord in. That's what I wrote. Okay, so hopefully one of those is right. Arlo, my opinion is, why would you disregard a tool that makes life easier? Arlo, I am absolutely not disagreeing with you that it can make your music sound terrible and limit your options, but it does make it easier to play loud. No, I'm kidding. There are absolutely times to play with a pick. It's just not here, and it's not now, and it's never with Gary. So there's that. And then he says, "Well, what are you going to do on a mandolin?" I'm like, that's a different issue, right? So it's not a rule. Don't use a pick. It's just really good advice. All right, so let's go from measure 9, and let's try to get hand da dum ba bum bum bum, and see if we can do that from measure 9. And Arlo, I'm not going to pick on you. Don't pick on me, Arlo. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to go back up to the top. Next page. And then here's where things get interesting. D minor 7. All the way to the top again. Whoops, I'm sorry. You got to jump to the coda, which is all the way over at 25. So slide on over to 25 on page 2 and then go. Whoops, what am I playing here? Pretty. So I think it's right. I do think it's right. I don't see anything on here that makes me super sad. So I'd like to play through it one more time, just as we did. And again, this song we're used to hearing it much faster. And so if you decide, yep, I'm a Beatles guy, I'm going to make this thing happen. Obviously, learn it at the slower speed. Learn where what's going to go well, what's not going to go for you. Get it pretty tight when it's playing it slow. Then once you can play it slow, you can always speed it up. But I think I have a tendency, and most students have this tendency, where we play stuff, the easy parts too fast, and then we have to slow way down on the hard parts and all that. It's better if you can play at a consistent speed all the way through, and get that way you can work out all of your problems and find where the easy part, find where the challenges are going to be, get those worked out, and then you can start speeding up the overall pace. But let's take our time through it one more time. I think it works. I don't see anything here I want to change yet. 1, 2, 3. The top. Page 2. All right, now time to breathe. I actually think, and you guys know how I am, I play everything at a slow speed because I think that I want every single thing to sound exactly like Stairway to Heaven. I want everything to be a rock ballad. I think it sounds fine if you slow it down. And of course, those of you guys that are from that generation or really know these music, I get it. You're like, that's too slow. Let's play it faster. Well, play it faster, right? You don't have to. The tempo is a suggestion at best. All right, go grab Obladi Oblada. This is a whole different ball of wax, and this one's going to be kind of fun to play, I think. I hope. All right. Let me know how you're playing. Let me know if there's something in there that's making you want to. All right. Oh, so interesting. Vic's finding that one a little bit more difficult. I think of the two, for me, that one's a little easier. But of course, every song, everybody has their own things, right? And so for me, the more C chords that show up, the more I'm gonna be struggling, right? But that one's coming along okay for me. I think especially sometimes when you grow up with a song and now you're playing in a different key or at a different tempo, you may fight it a little bit more than some song you don't know at all. So all week long we've been playing all these Irish tunes that I don't know any at all in ukulele class, and it's been fascinating to watch me sort of what I struggle with and what I don't. When you don't know a song, getting it into your head is pretty challenging. Once it's in your head, then you're like, all right, what I have in my head is maybe or what matches on the paper or maybe not, and then you have to deal with that whole issue. So we should do some Led Zeppelin. Here's what I know about Led Zeppelin. As a young man, they came up with a rule that you could not play Stairway to Heaven anymore. That was it. They'd had enough of it. It was over, and so nobody played it for a long time. Well, now it's kind of back a little bit, because young people don't know that tune, and so it's back a little bit. So we might. I've got Stairway to Heaven written out on ukulele. I could probably write it out. I could probably transfer it over and put it into guitar. But as guitarists, you should know that people my age and older might look at you questioning why you're playing that song, because for a while it was against the law to play it. But everybody probably ought to know the intro to that. Clear up until Robert Plant starts singing, you probably ought to know that section, and that's actually quite easy to play, surprisingly. And so maybe I'll put that out and we'll do that. That's a good idea. The rest of their catalog, I just honestly I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it on acoustic music because, like you guys, that's what I grew up on was Led Zeppelin one, the Zoso album over and over and over. And so when I don't hear it exactly the way I'm used to it, I'm like, I got no Stairway. That and what's the other one you're not allowed to play? No Wagon Wheel. You're not allowed to play Wagon Wheel. That's funny. Cashmere. Well, maybe. Right. All right. I know. And a lot of it works on acoustic. It's just not my thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to be a little more open-minded. All right. Obladi Oblada. You can look at the sheet music and you can tell there's not any melody in this thing. Da 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 dun dun. Dun 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 dun. So there's a little middle melody there, but and so you finally get the melody at da da dun da da dun da da dun dun da 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 dum dum. So not a ton of melody on this, and so I'm just going to pluck it out. But if you were really wanting to make this fun, this is really more of a singing song. Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. Right, do something like that. Aaron's going to list out all of the songs that are good from Zeppelin on acoustic. Just because Jimmy did it on an acoustic doesn't mean that you can do it on acoustic, right? Maybe you can. All right, let's sing it. That would be kind of fun. Let's do that real quick. One. By the way, the Beatles thought that they were writing reggae music when they were doing this, just to give you a sense of what happened, how reggae music, they're like, yes, we're going to write a Caribbean song, and this is what they came up with. It sounds exactly like the Everly Brothers, but that they were thinking they were writing a reggae song. 1, 2, ready, play. Desmond has a barrow in the marketplace. Molly is the singer in the band. Desmond says to Molly, girl, I like your face. And Molly says this as she takes him by the hand. Obladi Oblada, what goes on, bra? Life goes on, like bra, bra. La la la, how life goes on. Obladi Oblada, life goes on, bra. La la la, how life goes on. And then you repeat it, and what you're supposed to do right there, then you repeat it. Then the second time you play through that repeat, okay? So the second time you play through it, go to measure 15. You're on the second time through. La la la, how life goes on. And then in a couple of years, they have built a home, sweet home. Couple of kids running in the yard of Desmond and Molly Jones. Ha 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 ha. Right? You guys remember that? Ha 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 ha. And then back to the top. Desmond, happy ever after in the marketplace. Desmond, da 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 da. Molly stays at home and does her pretty face. And in the evening she's a singer in the band. Obladi Oblada, life goes on, bra. La la la, how life goes on. Obladi Oblada, life goes on, bra. La la la, how life goes on. And then you go there. La la la, how life goes on. That's sort of the end. And then you go down to 24. Woohoo! Right? Remember at the end they go, yeehaw, or something like that at the end of the song. I think I put woohoo, but that's what you do. You just play to 16, and then I put a goofy D chord on the end there, but just yell woohoo, and you're done. So that's what you're supposed. So there's no song here, right? There's not that much on there. So then let's go through and talk to uke. Again, not a ton of song here, but kind of fun to play. Okay, so grab your D chord and let's go from there. Ready, play. pinky. G chord. 5, 7. D chord. Rest, rest. That's the fun move, right? So take your pinky when you're on that 5, when you go on to measure 10, and you've got your D chord with your pinky. You slide it all the way up and slide, and then try to drag it right back. Then you got to get your A with the bar in there. A little hard. Keep going. Back to the top and go. To major 17. That part you're probably going to have to memorize because it's all over the fretboard, right? There's no way to just play that. You're going to have to be able to look down and watch where your frets are. And then when you get to the lap, right, nothing there. And you go back to the top, one last time to the top, go. Find something fun to do at the end. There's Obladi Oblada. All right, we'll take requests. We're going to do one other Beatles tune, and then I want to play through the non-tab secret song. So which one? Blackbird, Here Comes the Sun, Norwegian Wood, Penny Lane, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, or Yesterday. Give me first vote is the best to vote. So grab your keyboards, quick, type something in. We'll wrap up our Beatles song with this. This week I'm hoping to get another one or two out. I'm working on When I'm 64 and Michelle, and there's one other one I've been fussing with. So we'll be doing one of those songs next week, or maybe all three. I don't know. We'll see what I have a chance to do. Somebody give me an idea of what you want to play right now. Yesterday, 2 yesterdays and a blackbird. All right, so we're going with yesterday. That's how it works, right? Let's go grab yesterday. Honestly, that's a nice song, right? Yesterday. All right, let's grab yesterday. All right. This is another one where it's not Paul. Paul sings it a little bit fast, right? And yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. You don't have to do that, okay? Take your time. And of course, it's in C. All right, here we go. Not fast. 8 days. 8 days a week. I haven't worked on that one ever. That's not a bad idea. That's a pretty good idea. Aaron's on fire all right now. Here we go. From the top, one time through, play down to 7, come back to 1, play all the way down through 15, come back to 1, and then just play all the way to the end, and that's it. Okay, ignore that forward repeat in major 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Gary. Hold on. Let me get my starting position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. Three F chords. Who picked that song? 4 F chords. Vic. All right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 F chords. Ugh, 4 F chords. All right, fine. I know who I'm dealing with now. Arlo and the rest of you people who pick F chords. Every time I see one come up, I'm like, oh man, I'm hoping. Oh, got to get it close, right? All right. For those of you guys that are just here for the Beatles, you're all set. Have a wonderful week. Do check in the website probably about an hour before next week's class. I think we're on for next week. Let me double check my schedule. I'm pretty sure I will be here. Pretty sure. Yes, next week is normal. So March 11th is our next meeting, and we'll continue on with the Beatles. My intention is to try to get, honestly, just to run the Beatles until we can't possibly stand them anymore. And so we want to do that. For those of you guys that want to do the super secret song, let's take a little bit of time, run through that real quick. We got a few minutes to make sure we know what we're doing with that. And then this week I'll get out super secret song number 4. And again, for the super secret songs are not designed for you to go research what type of song it is and all this stuff. I'll tell you everything you need to know about the song. What it's really meant to do was get you used to reading standard notation. That's the only thing, and not all of you are interested in doing that. And you don't have to be a great guitar player to play classical guitar, but you do got to spend a little bit of time learning to read the sheet music. And so for some of you that's a goal, and so I want to give you that give you a place to kind of help you with that. Arlo says piece of cake. Arlo, we're in a fight. Every time a barcode comes up, I'm like, oh god, and then I think, yeah, Arlo's back there going, all right, no big deal to Arlo. He doesn't care. He could care less. He'd rather it be a barcode. That's where Arlo is. All right, super secret song number 3. By the way, I didn't mention this. This song is from 1508, or somewhere between 1508 and 1563. Old. So when we're talking, and if you're not doing the super secret songs, perfectly fine. Have a lovely week. I'll see you next Thursday. Super secret song. DGO Mystery number 3. There you go, Aaron. Yeah, we need a little... That's why we do this, guys. Once a week, you go through your week, you haven't had a chance to touch a guitar, you're working all week, blah, blah, blah. You finally sit down and you're like, oh, man, the whole week gets by on you. Then all of a sudden, a month gets by you. Then a year gets by you. And then for many of my students, 20 years gets by them. And if we just sit down every Thursday night for a little while and play some tunes, it just keeps us in the ball game, right? That's really what we're after. Maybe one of you will end up being concert ready, and we will come and help. We will cheer you on to get Grammy Awards. But the rest of us are just trying to have a reason to not let life get a hold of us. Okay. Here's how I'm approaching this song. I will talk my way through it, and then we'll go through and play it a couple times. The first note is an E. We love that because that's your open E string here. Okay. Next note. The first thing I did was this song is in A. It's got 3 sharps there. That's the key for A. but the first note, the first bass note is a D. Okay. Well, if I'm using my music theory and I know I'm in the key of A, then I'm probably going to see the chords A, not necessarily B, not necessarily C, but probably a D and probably an E. Those are probably the chords that are going to show up in this song if I'm in A. And sure enough, the second note in there, it's got a D, which is that 3, it says 3 up on this second string, and then they want you to pluck the D note down here. Okay, so instead of starting on an A chord, it's starting on a D chord, but that's because it's cheating a little bit. This E chord is actually part of an A chord. So the first note is part of the A chord. You don't see the chord. Then the next one, I'm just going to hold a D chord. Okay, and it says play these 2 strings. The second, I'm going to play the D on the second string, and then the other D on the 4th string. And that's a half note, so let that go. The bass is just going to write if you look through there, the bass pretty much is always a whole, it's almost always a whole note, right? So the bass, we're just going to hit it and let it ring. But the upper notes, we have to be a little more mindful about counting correctly. So we hit the 2 Ds, there's a beat there, and then you've got a B, that's the open second string, and then put your D right back down. And then the next chord, you've got a thumb on an A, and then I'm just grabbing an A chord. I'm in the key of A, it makes sense to grab an A chord, and look at there, I'm magically holding down the C sharp. It's the first note in measure 2 there is a C, but it's a C sharp because you're in the key of A. So G's, F's, and C's are all sharp. So then you just hit those 2 notes. The next one is an A. You're already holding it down by holding the chord. And then go back to the C sharp. And then your next chord, you're going to hit that E, the low string, so you're almost certainly going to be playing an E chord. And sure enough, if you hold an E chord, then you're leaving that second string open to get the B, and so you can play that. Your next note's a G, but it's a G sharp, and look what you're holding down on your index finger, but a G sharp. And the next one's an A, and the only way I can figure to get to it is just slide my index finger forward. And then the B string open, and then go back to your A chord, pluck the A string low and the C sharp high, half note, let it ride for a second, and then hit this 3rd string. Okay, there's a repeat, so we go right back up to the top. We can go on, hit the A, put your D chord back on here, slide your ring finger back to get this C sharp now, put it back up, E note, so open 1st string, then a D chord, top string, you're going to play the F sharp along with the D. You're already holding down the D note there. Play the F sharp again, grab your A chord again, open 1st string, and pluck the 5th string, ring finger forward to get the D, bring it back to get the C sharp, take it off to get the B, and then put your A chord on, and you're going to hit strings 2 C sharp and the A string again. That's when then you hit the 3rd string to get the A, and you have this A hanging out at the very end. Go back to your D chord, slide your 3 back, slide it forward, open E string, D chord, high string, and 4th string. We're already holding down that D note. F sharp again. Another A chord, ring finger forward, ring finger back, ring finger off, and then hit the A. you're gonna hit while you're holding the A chord, which you already are doing. You're gonna hit your thumb on the A string and use your middle finger to hit the A on the third string. Plung. So we start off with this naked E, and we end up with the A chord. And that makes sense, right? And if it's the 16th century, all of the music's going to make sense. It just isn't going to necessarily sound great to our ear, but it all works. If you can see these chords individually hiding underneath there, it really reduces the amount of work you have to do over here. You could just go through and just pluck each individual note, but you'll be much less accurate. And so using your chord shapes is going to help you out. Here's where fingerstyle comes in to help when you're playing classical music, in that, hey, I know that's an A chord, even though it doesn't show it. I know it's hanging out there. Okay, and then by holding it, magically, most of the notes end up under your hand. It's not an accident. Let's play through it once. Remember your repeat at the end of the first line. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Thanks, Evelyn. Have a great night. All right. So, shall we do it one more time? I'm going to do it one more time. The only thing that I now know the notes, right? And I know about the positions that I want to play. I know about which fingers I want to use on this hand. Now I want to tighten up the timing a little bit, making sure that it's bum 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 bum, right? And so I want to get the pacing tightened up. I don't really care what the speed is. What I care about is getting the I don't care about the speed. I care about getting the relationship between the notes correct. Have a good one, JEL. Bill, see ya. And everyone hit the classical music and people are like, nope, I'm out. All right, let's finish up one more time through. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Yeah, close enough, right? So there's your DGO's Super Secret Song number 3. Guys, I'll keep putting those out as long as one or two of you tell me that you're interested in working on them. If there comes a point where it's just me working on them, I will not plague you with them. But I do think for some of you that's a worthwhile goal to be working on some of this type of stuff as well. Hope you're having a wonderful night. I hope you played well, and we'll keep moving forward with what we're working on. And I'll see the rest of you guys tomorrow. We have a concert at 10 a.m. Love to have you guys come and sit in on that and play. I don't remember how many songs we have, a whole bunch. And we're going to keep going. Vic says, "Hey, that's a pretty good on. You did pretty good on it. Yay, nice." I think that's the funny part about reading music from standard notation. Quite a bit harder to do that than if we typed out the tablature. You all can do it right away. But we want to play in different styles on guitar. We want to try different things, and so I'm trying really, really hard to make that be a thing in of itself. So I'm glad you're doing well in that, Vic. That makes me happy. Good job, Vic. Thank you. Elizabeth, the Beatles arrangements are great. Thanks so much. You're welcome, Elizabeth. I'm enjoying working on them a little. I'm enjoying working on them. I think we'll end up with a really nice collection of tunes at the end. And for some people who love the Beatles, that's all really they're going to be able to play from those for many years quite happily. So all right, guys, I'm going to pull the plug. You guys have a wonderful night, and I will see some of you tomorrow. I'll see the rest of you next week. With piano, I can read simple standard notation. Yeah, I find it much easier to read standard notation on piano, and I know in academia they expect you to be able to read that on all of the instruments. It is not a superior system on guitar than to tablature, but it is the system that is expected, and it is the system that they want all guitarists to be able to learn. And whether you end up in academia or not, it's not a bad pursuit. It's not something that you're wasting your time on. It's a whole lot more work to get the same result that over what tablature gives you. So that I do have a bit of an attitude problem about that, but nobody's asking me, so that's where we're at. Sorry about that. Just hit the microphone. You guys have a wonderful night. I'll see some of you tomorrow. I'll see the rest of you next Thursday. And obviously, toss me an email if you have questions or concerns, and we'll move from there. Stopping stream.